because we have quick disconnect couplings on all of our push rods, flex adapter, when you're pushing those down in the line, we want to tape all these joints to make sure we don't snag something and release that quick disconnect.
That's what the duct tape is for, and that's tacked.
Electric tape. Not duct tape.
I like mix it. Oh no, because it comes with duct tape.
Oh yeah, it comes like with a red.
Alright, so we're going to go
Carlos.
ahead and tape up these joints.
Does it make a difference when you either use that tape or electrical tape?
Agarra un bucket y pon unos Gatorades con ice en el bucket.
Oh, it is a
No tenemos que ice. ¿El ice es que le hace ice?
Cosas, si no haces caso,
So all of these joints have to be taped. And like I said, I want to leave this flex adapter on when I'm done. So I'm just going to tape up that whole thing. And then all of the joints, I like to cover all the metal, just to keep the resin off of you know, out of the quick disconnect coupling. And then when you're done, leave a small tab so they're easier to get off once you're finished. And again, we would have a safety rope or a pole rope taped here. And then what I do is also tape that to
help
make everything as low profile as you can. So your safety rope is taped on there. And then even come back here and tape the rope just to keep everything out of your way. The fiberglass mat is two-sided. It's got a fibrous side, loose fibers here, and then it also has a woven side. So the woven side is going to add strength to it, but this is going to be a 2-ply patch, so we're going to wet this side out first. Flip it over, we're going to wet this side out, and then I'm going to fold it with about a 1-inch overlap, and that gives us a 2-ply 2-foot patch. Okay? The fiber side goes up against the pipe wall because the engineers believe these little loose fibers here will lock into any imperfections in that pipe and help lock this thing in place. If you happen to turn it inside out, it's not the end of the day. You'll just have it'll be a different kind of a look to it. It doesn't hurt the patch at all, but the fiber side goes up against the pipe wall. So once we wet those out, we're going to set the packer on. Can you lift that up a little for me?
In reality, because you're folding it, it doesn't matter because both the inner and the outer pipe will have the hairs in the inside and the outside the way it is right now. Yep. Now if you flip it the other way, then all that will be hidden in between.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then once it's wet out, we got our protective sleeve over it. We're going to wrap it on nice and tight. And then we're going to put zip ties on. We're going to put a zip tie here, one here, and one here to hold the patch on. We're going to push it down into place to get to where we want it. And when we add air pressure to the packer, these zip ties are going to break. So on the box, there is a checklist. What's that? So this checklist will be on a piece of paper like this inside the box. The checklist is designed, if you follow the checklist, you have a much higher success rate than if especially the first 5-6 times you go out. That way you're not forgetting anything. So prepare the hose pipe, which is cleaning the pipe, getting rid of any roots or any debris that's in that pipe. Measure the diameter and length of the patch. You know the diameter of the pipe. Figure out which patch kit you need. Secure the protective sleeve. We're going to flip the sleeve on there real quick once I'm done here. Perform the trial run. For whatever reason, after I leave the training, the guys are in a hurry. That's the first step that they omit from the training. And believe it or not, then they screw it up, and so if they're trying to save 5 minutes, and at the end of the day they get something screwed up, it costs them 2 or 3 hours worth of, correcting that error. Set up the working area. We've got the work surface out. Thoroughly mix the resin. Before you mix that resin, I would take a 5-minute smoke break, chew break, eat a hamburger, and just go over everything to make sure everything is prepared and ready to go. It could be something simple as, the air compressor
Or the zip ties
isn't working, or you don't have power, the power supply isn't there, or you forgot to put the sleeve on. So take that 5 minutes, just go over everything, make sure you're prepped and ready to go. And then from there, we're going to spread the resin out on the fiberglass mat. The wet out the sample pieces, that's no longer on the checklist. Hold the wet out mat, which is our trifolds there. Roll tightly onto the packer, secure the mat to the packer, which is the zip ties. Push the packer into position, and then when you inflate that packer, write the time down. And like I said, your cure time, which is up here, once you write that down, then you know when to expect that patch to be done. But again, you're going to use this work surface as a gauge. So the checklist will be on the sheet of paper. There's also pictures. All right, so let's put the protective sleeve on the bladder. So put your hand all the way down in there. Bring it down towards me. So you want the packer extended beyond the plastic sleeve, because I'm going to take the plastic to the packer, and I need plastic for the packer to grab onto. So the packer goes in the center of the sleeve, and then I'm going to fold a tab, fold it this way, and then I'm also going to chase it around the other side, so the tabs will chase each other. You don't want to go this way.
overlap.
Yep. So you want to do one tab, hold that for me. And then you can feel the cone starts about right here. You can come down a little ways, but you don't want to come clear down here, because then you're going to prevent this packer from expanding the way it's supposed to. So, put it in there. And then take the tape and stretch it, and then cover the whole entire end of this packer. These packers will last 150, 200 repairs if you take care of them. Keep the resin off of the end of the bladder. You definitely don't want resin on the packer itself. If you get resin on this packer, it's going to dry and cure, and then when you expand it, it's going to tear this packer. It'll look like dry rot. So it's important to keep that resin off of the packer itself. So on the back side, off the back of the packer. Does someone have a knife, or do we have the scissors up here? So right now, as it is,
Pandillero
we've
del
got some
MS.
air trapped in here. We want to cut just a little slit to allow the air to escape once we start expanding it. All right. So inside this silver bag here is a UV protective sleeve. Again, everything is kept out of the sun. The only thing separating the hardener from the silicone resin is the pin. So we're going to take the pin off, take the UV bag out. There's 2 dry packs in there. So somebody have the time?
Oh, 11:56.
All right, so clock started ticking.
11:50.
So you just take the bag and shake it back and forth.
Oh, wow. That was easy.
You want a consistent caramel color.
Mmm. Yummy.
And this will get all the resin out of the seams and out of the corner.
It almost looks like manjar.
don't want to overmix it. The more you handle it, the faster it's going to kick off that chemical reaction.
Okay.
Also, if I were to walk away and leave this for 5 minutes, in 5 minutes I come back and this is going to be hot, and anytime you have a resin, whether epoxy or silicate, in bulk, that chemical reaction kicks off that much. So we're going to dump out maybe 60%. Hold that for me. And we're not decorating the cake, so we want to get, we want to be moving because we are under the time clock. So just get it all spread out and make sure everything is covered. No dry spots. If you have a dry spot,
All the sides, Jeffrey, even if it goes out of the plastic. Jeffrey, look how he's doing it. So even if it goes out of the plastic.
¿Te da miedo, mijo? ¿Te da miedo?
More.
Así me gusta que me pida.
Que se salga las orillas, Jeffrey. There he goes. There he goes, Jeffrey. Don't be afraid.
All right, so all of our edges are covered. I'm going to put, we want to leave a nice even film. The film is going to help reduce the friction once we start expanding this bladder. So just kind of leave a nice even, you don't want it scraped dry. Just a nice even film to work with there. Flip it over.
Good job, Jeffrey. So you gotta apply it little by little.
Yeah, you just don't want to, you just don't want to dump it all out there because you might not. The warmer it is, the more liquid it is, and the easier it moves. The colder it is, the more gel.
The more jelly, yeah.
So that looks like a nice, even, smooth film on it. So we're going to pick up one end, fold it over. It doesn't have to be exactly in the half, middle. And then just a 1 inch overlap. If you do 3 inches, it's going to be short. So just take this. Now I want, if I were to leave this just like it is, when it cured out, you would have like a lip.
Yeah.
So I want to minimize that lip as much as I can. You're not gonna be able to get rid of all of it, but you'll be able to minimize. So I'm going to leave a nice even puddle.
Do you understand, Jeffrey? We're just gonna, just right there, so when the bladder expands, that squeezes out the resin, and that creates like a little ramp.
Yep. So just kind of smooth it out.
No, Jeffrey. Only the corner. I just finished
Can you
telling
lift
you.
up the packer?
Only the side, because you want it to strong, not in the middle.
So then fold the plastic in, so you're not setting the packer in all this goop out here. And then the patch goes between the two white lines. Straight on there. And then take your thumbs and get underneath the patch. Yep. And gorgeous. Okay. Take out the outside of gloves. So we got got scissors there. So go ahead and lift up mice into the packer. Zip tie is going to go on. Go ahead and set it down. Zip tie is going to go on here. And I should have brought a pair of pliers or snips. You want the fabric cinched like it is. And then we're going to cut the tails off.
So you put 2 or 3?
So we're gonna have
3.
one on either end.
And then the middle.
Okay, go ahead and sure's on. I'll hold this up. Can you hold up that packer?
Con los dientes, hazlo.
If we needed to, we're running out of room with these zip ties. I could put 2 zip ties together. Nice and tight, cinch down. Cut the tails off. Okay, so lift the packer up. I'm going to pull this sleeve out. Like this. Again, this is going to be our gauge. When you're putting the packer in the pipe, you want to make sure you're not going to catch that front edge. So baby it in. And can you see that center zip tie?
There's a
Yeah.
center.
Here.
Yep. I think this is a tie right back. Good there. Okay, so now we're going to plug in our air hose. Our pressure's already set. And now when we blow this up, you should hear those ties
Snap.
snap.
Well, now yeah, but not underground.
You can if you're, 25, 30 feet out. If you're 60, 70 feet out, you might not hear
Okay.
them.
There it goes.
That's a very light sound.
Yeah. But inside of a pipe, it echoes.
Yeah, you're on the end of the pipe.
Yep. So this is where, you can see we've got resin being forced out all over the place. If there's any hairline cracks, that resin is forced into those cracks, or any